We're here on WJ campus outside on the patio. We're going to be talking about hookup culture. Hi, I'm Zach Baker.
I'm Vincent Enrico. We'll be interviewing 3 individuals, a male, a female, somebody in the LGBTQ community. Their information won't be disclosed to remain anonymous, so if you do know anyone, please allow them their privacy. Thank you.
In your opinion, what exactly is hookup culture?
I think it is just casual sex between 2 people that think they're attracted to each other. Maybe usually like weekends, maybe a little bit intoxicated first to loosen up, but yeah.
So you think it kind of revolves around like the party scene?
Yeah.
Do you think it happens outside party scenes at all, or is it just?
For sure outside. I mean, anything from just getting introduced to somebody to seeing them on like social media. For sure, you could just DM them or use Tinder. Tinder's especially big on just casual hookups. Yeah.
So it's really big on college campuses because it's big on social media.
Yes,
Also.
correct.
What exactly hookup culture is on college campuses?
I would say that hookup culture is just the idea that you can go out on the weekend and find somebody random and dance with them and bring them back to your room and hook up with them, whether that's actually sex or anything prior to it, and not really talking again. Just this, one night stand kind of mentality. Yeah.
Now, do you participate in hookup culture? What do you kind of define hookup culture as on college campuses?
Definitely the partying life when people get drunk and just end up going back to their rooms together. Not even caring about names half the time.
Do you it's very personal, you think?
Oh yeah, it's definitely like don't even talk to each other the next day. Avoid eye contact afterwards.
Kind of awkward then.
Oh,
Second
yeah.
question, I guess, would be, do you participate in hookup culture? And if you do, why? If you don't, why not?
Unfortunately, I have before, but it's not necessarily out of choice. I think it's because in this day and age, if you don't adapt to that kind of culture and are willing to be in a relationship and actually find what it is, then hey buddy, how are you? And I think that because it's so new, you have to assimilate to a degree in order to actually get anywhere with a relationship.
Yeah. Now, do you participate in hookup culture? And why not?
I don't think that's how you meet somebody valuable, and I don't like wasting my time with people who are only after one thing. And I would rather just be around good friends and have a good time than do something like that.
So have you personally ever participated in hookup culture, and why or why not?
No, I've been in a relationship for 4 years, so I have not. But I've definitely plenty of people try to pursue that. So it's something I've been exposed to but not indulged in.
If you were ever not in a relationship, would you ever consider it, and why or why not?
Probably not. Mostly because I think it really affects a person's mental state, especially somewhere like college when you're really vulnerable to being depressed or anxious, and something like that can really mess with your emotions even if you don't think it will.
Do you see personal issues with hookup culture on campus? Whether it be issues with personal relationships or issues with violence and rape and stuff like that, or
Yeah, I definitely think this over-sexualized culture that we're living in now is definitely more dangerous. I think it promotes the idea of even unsafe sex, casual sex that people don't realize it can transmit diseases, especially on a small campus like this. If you have one person in it and they sleep with someone, you get the whole ghost partner cycle, whatever. And I think it also makes people more aggressive sexually in nature, especially with the all the ways to download explicit material, pornography. In terms of guys, they become more aggressive, and there's definitely increased chances of sexual assault and rape for sure. And you add alcohol or drugs to the mix on a college campus and underdeveloped minds before 21. That's definitely a volatile environment.
really in the culture, you don't really kind of like what it stands for. Are there any personal problems that you like specifically take issue with it with the culture? Do you think it's an issue or rampant on college campuses? And what kind of instigates that?
I think it's rampant on college campuses, especially larger ones, probably even more prevalent than at WJ. I do think that it's an issue as well because it demoralizes people and it causes you to look at somebody from one standpoint, and that's a sexual standpoint, instead of the other qualities that they have. And it just takes away the person from the act, I guess, and it's strictly just a benefit out of it. There's no more time. So I would say that I disagree with it. I think it causes hurt feelings. I think that women are more susceptible to have more feelings about it or get more hurt about it if they aren't talked to again after a one-night stand or a hookup. And then the men tend to just brag about it. And, it's two completely different sides because the women look horrible for doing it, and then the men can brag and give a list of all of the women that they were able to hook up with, and it's a double standard, even though they're both after the same thing.
So it's definitely a gendered issue.
Yeah.
So from what you're saying right now, we're kind of getting the idea that you see issues with the culture. Are there any issues in particular that really bother you about it?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of possibility for rape when you start to look at hookup culture, especially on college campuses.
A lot of people said that.
Right, as far as drugging and just overall, like, severe intoxication. And again, regret is a major thing when it comes to sex of any kind, even if you're in a relationship. So I think it is definitely a problem.
Now, because of hookup culture becoming, more of a thing in our society today, we see less of what we've seen in the past where you stick to one person and you have abstinence till marriage and all that stuff. And instead you're seeing people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in, a couple weeks time.
Yeah.
You don't have like a full-on committed relationship with somebody. How do you think that's changing people's perceptions of what a relationship is, and how do you think that's going to affect, especially like our group in the future, moving on out of college through marriage and stuff like that? Do you think that it affects how closely we value somebody?
Yeah, I mean, we can already see a downturn in marriages, or less and less marriages that are actually follow through until one person passes on to the next or whatever. And even so, if you see long-term marriages, there's usually someone that cheats, and it definitely has to do with what we perceive in our environment and what we think is the norm. And because of top-down processing, meaning automatic processing, we people can be autonomically segregate, just as they could autonomically believe that it's all right to just have willy-nilly sex with everybody. But
Do you think it's something that's going to get better
I
or worse
don't-
with time?
I think with time it's going to get worse. And I think marriage is definitely going to be in the minority of the population.
As well as being a gender issue, do you think it's like a morality issue? And what do you think that kind of implies for our future? If we're using hookup culture now in college, I mean, what are our futures and what are our abilities to form relationships in the future? And how's that going to affect us?
I think it's a culture issue as well. Not to just point out men, but I would say more on their side, strictly because they can brag about it. They can brag about all the girls that they've been with and not care about a single one of them. And they might not be able to form healthy relationships in the future because they're automatically going to assume that because a girl might dress a certain way, or they might dance with them, or talk to them at a party, that's what they're after. And, there's a lot of taking advantage. And I think that on the other hand, women will feel more insecure or more pressure to live up to a specific standard because that's what everyone else is
So I think our last question would be is, with hookup culture being as rampant as it is, what do you think this means for our future and our ability to form relationships once we get out of college, or for future generations coming into this kind of culture? And is it going to be a bad thing? Is it going to be a good thing? How can we change that?
Well, I feel like both parents and before college teachers don't do enough to prepare students for those types of instances. And then it definitely desensitizes a lot of people, especially men, So it really does jeopardize their capability of having a long-lasting relationship after college.
I think a lot of people agree with you on that. Do you think that there's anything that we can kind of counteract it with, or a lot of other people have expressed the opinion that it's just going to get worse, especially as technology advances, and there's really not much we can do other than just educating people and hoping they make the right choice.
Yeah,
Is that your opinion as well?
I feel like education and stressing the fact that social media is not holding a relationship with a human being is something that's important. So yeah, I agree.
Thank you for talking with
Yeah,
us.
of course. Thank you.
All right, the first question we asked was, what is your definition of hookup culture?
So the analysis of the first question throughout the three individuals was that hookup culture is a very informal process that takes place on college campuses. Mostly it has to do with alcohol and or drugs. And it allows a lot of room for dangers such as rape or sexual assault. Overall, the answers to hookup culture were negative, and that it is a negative entity on college
The
campuses.
second question we asked was, did you participate in hookup culture on campus, and why not?
So regardless of the three individuals' answers, one being yes in the past, the other two being no, they all viewed hookup culture as a negative process that only resulted in regret and or heartbreak. It adds negative feelings to the mindset and does not really result in a positive mood ever.
Our third question was personal problems that you see on campus with hookup culture.
So the three individuals that we interviewed, they identified most of the problems with hookup culture. They are linked with social media. So apps like Tinder, Grindr, they all provide a very impersonal connection, which doesn't result in a lot of emotion, empathy, or care for each other. And the three individuals also identified that there's one goal in hookup culture, which sort of results in the selfishness between individuals, and that in hookup culture, women are oppressed by it and men are sort of empowered by it. As one individual described, men being able to brag about the result from hookup culture, and women only feeling bad and ashamed of the results of hookup culture.
The fourth question was, how do you see relationships in the future being affected by hookup culture?
So our three individuals, their main problem was the future degradation of meaningful relationships and marriages because of hookup culture. The impersonal nature of hookup culture seems to be learned through things like social media, popular media like magazines, and also from person to person in everyday life. Like how if college campuses are observed, that behavior is learned and will continue as like a toxic legacy, per se.